Hey y'all, hey y'all. Hi beautiful souls, I hope you all are doing well. This is a long adieu reading. I'm gonna channel Nolan Wells. This case has been very dear to my heart. I feel like I'm being called to call my guides in before I even start opening, so I'm gonna do that right now. Après bon Dieu c'est nous-mêmes, pour moi même qu'à chaque bloc ospene pour papa, pour le prendre chaque habitation moi. Tout ça moi, tout ça pas ouais, tout ça me connaît, tout ça pas connaît. S'il vous plaît, venez by Gitas. I feel like he's laughing right now. He's a jokester for sure. S'il vous plaît, venez by Gitas, tout bagay pour Nolan, ka palak munyo, aswea, aibobo. Whenever they're getting this. I'm gonna light the candle. I know you guys can't see what I'm doing, but it's okay. Make sure I move this in a safe zone. Let me actually light the bottom so it could stick. I hope you all are doing well, feeling blessed, staying strong, keeping up the good fight right now. There's a lot going on in the world. Before I do this, I'll say, no, let me do this. He's laughing because he knows I'm low-key nervous because this has been a case that has, from the minute it happened, it struck a chord within my soul. And it has impacted me more than any other case has in the world, in my whole life. Hold on, y'all, I'm gonna keep calling them in. Nolan, Xavier Wells. Nolan, Xavier Wells. Nolan, Xavier Wells. I feel like a lot is coming through already. All that to say, so for the longest time, I've been feeling a call to do this reading because I felt it so strongly on my soul. His energy, his presence. I've been watching it day in, day out, all day, pretty much. He is coming through saying, he's being really funny. Like at first he was calling me auntie, like, hey auntie. When I was doing the rattle, I did get that he could have had anxiety in general to some degree. And so he was calling me auntie, and he keeps like cracking that joke because he knows I don't find that, when these kids be calling people auntie. Anyway, and then he keeps like changing. He's like, oh, okay, queen. Nolan Wells is such a beautiful soul, and it took such a big bright light to bring about this call for justice. It's so much bigger and such a huge purpose happening right now. Let's see, where do I want to start? So there was a few things coming up before I even dive into the reading. Oh yeah, so okay, right before starting, maybe a few hours ago, like 2 hours ago, I have a deck right here. And I was like asking the cards, should I do this reading? Should I record this? Da, 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 da. And I saw the few cards that did come out. The one on the bottom of the deck right now is Drama Starter. There's a lot of drama happening, as we all see. Every day it's like a new chess move, right? But some of the cards I saw was Girl Fight, put it how it fits the story. Girl fight, legal trouble, haunted. Somebody could be feeling haunted. Whoever did the act could be feeling haunted. And before I get started, everything is alleged. Nothing I'm saying is factual. Nothing I'm saying is true. I'm not trying to, you get what I'm saying. I'm not trying to defame anybody, okay? I'm just a messenger, a channeler, and this is all for entertainment purposes only, okay? None of this is true. I'm gonna just say it like that. Yeah. Okay, so the other things that were coming up, so in our Haitian pantheon, we do have Haitian spirits, just how the Greek mythology has their spirits, etc. And in the Haitian pantheon, I was actually getting that one of the Haitian spirits that walks with him is Urzulifreda. And Urzulifreda is like I don't want to say comparable to Oshun. You don't want to be comparing spirits with each other. You know, like humans, they get a little jealous. It's like, how you gonna compare me to Jackie? You know what I mean? Like to Susie, like two different things. But all that to say, Urzuli Freda, she's a cool, clean energy. She's a rich lady. Like she's a boss babe, and she smells good. She looks good. She dresses well. She dresses they call her frais. That means fresh. She dresses fresh. So I was getting that that was really him. He liked to look sharp. It was just in him. Because you have two different things. You could have somebody that looks sharp and that's not really them. They're putting on a costume. You see what I'm saying? He didn't care about whether people around him were trying to disclude him. He was the type of person, he was for everybody. He was for people. He wasn't thinking like that. Like, oh, so-and-so doesn't want me part of the group. Maybe I shouldn't go. Maybe I should withhold myself. He wasn't like that. He was like his mom always says, a good time. He was here for a good time, bringing a good time to everybody. I'm going to get a little bit more into the few other messages I wrote, but just to intro all this, I am a shaman. I am a medium, psychic medium. I do readings. Most people come to me for my readings, tarot usually, so I do have a lot of cards I'll be pulling from. And I think a part of the reason why I feel very connected to this is twofold. Like, for one, I am a mother of a bereaved son. I lost my son, Camden. He was 9 months old. And, you know, Camden kind of looked like him a little bit. I feel like I don't know if that's why it struck me so hard. He resembled him a little bit. Camden, beautiful, beautiful soul. And I know the pain, like other mothers who have lost children or a child. My condolences, because there is no surmountable pain that it is, as Nolan Wells' mother said, it is unsurmountable. And my love goes out to them, his family. So I pray that you all are praying for his family. Pay attention to when the lights flicker, by the way. I have some lights that go off and it's very spiritual. It just flickered when I said that. So make sure y'all staying prayed up for his family. They need all the strength. Just because you see them stepping out, looking put together, that pain is not a joke. And I wouldn't wish that on a soul. And I truly think it's diabolical that so many people are coming out of their tushies to talk bad about her, to discredit her, to say she's doing this, she's doing that, to leave horrible reviews about her at her workplace. All of this is, in my opinion, diabolical. So make sure you're saying prayers for his family, because they need more and more and more. The other reason why I feel like it connected to me, I feel like he doesn't want me to go there, so we're not going to make it about that. One thing I'll say before I get into the reading is I don't feel like it was necessarily brought about because of race, not necessarily. I believe systemically there's a lot of racial issues that is being exposed and is being brought to the forefront, and it's, here for people in the larger population of the world to question. I personally think, I like Einstein. I read a quote recently from Einstein. If y'all know me, I love quoting Einstein. He's brilliant. But he had a quote where he was, lecturing black people. And he was like, I think racism is stupid. It is very ignorant. But I think it's beautiful that Nolan Wells' legacy is already living on and is already bringing to light what people collectively have been needing to see to work through. I think we all collectively need to get to a point where we can realize, okay, it is stupid. Why are we doing this? But it's going to take a lot of work. We have to do a lot of unpacking, a lot of digging, a lot of the questioning over and over and over. Well, what if the situation was 3 black guys and 1 white guy? How would this be treated differently, systemically, familially, all types of things, right? Without further ado, we're going to jump into this. a few things came up like right before I was starting or in the most recent days. His birthday, August 9th, I believe it is, something is gonna happen. He's saying something is gonna happen. So whether it's a news that comes out, a lead in the case, whatever that is, something pertinent will happen on his birthday, August 9th. He did mention that there was some kind of pact that was signed. So this could have been literally like people involved or witnesses, whatever, signed some kind of pact, an agreement, a contract, kind of like an NDA. Or this is spiritual. So there was some kind of pact that was made. The one message that he doesn't want me to say that yet, I'll say it later. I won't forget, because that one was coming up since it happened. And then he's calling me to, okay, I already told y'all that. Yeah, okay. I feel like I can resonate a lot with Nolan Wells because of how I grew up. I didn't grow up in the South like Mississippi. I grew up in Miami, born and bred, but I did go to private school. And so it was predominantly white. And yeah, that's what I'll say about that. But we'll get started. Let me see. He's very present with everything going on. He's present on all fronts. He's present on his mom's side, his family side, also on the defendant. Is that what it's called? The defendant side? Yeah. He's present. He's seeing it all. He's in the living rooms. He's in the midst of the conversations. He's showing me he's kind of like all encompassing, like in multiple places at once, like multidimensional basically, which does make sense. Anything else? He's telling me to get to the cards. So we'll get to the cards. I'll go back here because this is the deck that I was using when I asked initially if I was being called to actually record this reading. Oh, okay, one thing that has been coming up is he loves that people are speaking about it. And he's saying we're gonna have to get louder, not the other way around. There is some level of that that's gonna happen organically, but there is another level of that where people collectively are gonna have to push and fight and to keep pushing to be louder and vocal. Ask the questions, make the comments, make the videos. Now, he is saying that for the content creators that are focused on likes, there's a few names that he is mentioning that I'm not going to repeat. Some of you know who these people are, obviously. But in general, for people with large platforms, content creators, he is saying to check yourselves before you create the content. And yes, the content is good. Yes, use your platforms. But on two accords. One, check yourself that you're not doing this for clout, that you're not doing this for more subscribes, more likes, more comments, more analytics. You know, not doing it to make your channel blow up. Okay, the other thing is, what did she say, Nolan? About the content creators, it was that. There was something else he said about it too. Oh yeah, to use your intuition. It's gonna be very important for you to use your intuition in what you're saying, how you're delivering, because there could be things that you're passionate about and you're heated about and you're excited about, but use your intuition. Don't just say things because you're passionate about it, because you do have more people watching than you could ever imagine, he's saying. And he's kind of depicting this like people at the top, like above those people, above. So be mindful of that. Okay, Nolan Wells, what do you want to say? How do you want to communicate? What do you want to communicate? Tied to your transitioning, tied to answers that people are seeking. What do you want to communicate about your death? What do you want to communicate? It's interesting because this is wow. Okay, one more Nolan. One more. Okay, I was getting a lot of this energy. Somebody's ignoring, and I'm getting the energy that the person that is in this energy of ignoring could be the person who committed the crime. I'll just say it like that. They could be ignoring, in denial, because I'm still seeing it. That was one of the cards that did show up before I started this reading. It was ignoring. I didn't see that card here, but this is what I'm seeing, an offer. So somebody's making some kind of an offer. He's letting us know that there's an offer being made. However, somebody's realizing that there's no facts. Okay, so this is somebody being very calculative. It says no facts, never has the facts, makes shit up, lies. So this is somebody with no facts lying, okay, making stuff up. But there was an offer in place tied to this. I also am getting that this person who is making things up is doing this because of an offer. And this is somebody who is unfazed. This could be somebody that committed the crime or somebody that was a part of committing the crime. Back to that ignoring energy, because I saw ignoring earlier. Now I'm seeing unfazed, and guess what? On the bottom of this deck, unbothered. Unfazed, unbothered, and ignoring. This seems like somebody is in the highest levels of denial that you can imagine. This whole deck, I doubt there's any other cards that depict that energy. So for all those energies to come out, that is a very, very strong energy that is going on within this person. This is somebody who moves in silence. So this could be somebody that you haven't heard too much from, you haven't heard too much about. They are literally ignoring. You know, he's showing me like, you know, I don't know if you know how to do this or if you've done this before. It can be a trauma response. When you disassociate, you compartmentalize. That is what he's showing me. This is somebody who literally like went in their brain, put it in a back door, and they're moving on again, unfazed. It's almost like it's too much to bear. But again, this is somebody that moves in silence. Tell me more, Nolan. What else do you want to share? He's telling me I could say this now. The one thing that was coming up a lot, like almost every day, every few days, I would say, almost every day, is there is something on one of the boats that does need to be thoroughly checked. It could be with the cadaver dogs. It needs to be checked. It is, and it's like, I'm hesitant to say it because I don't know who's watching this, but it's a cooler. There is some kind of cooler. It looks like a white box cooler. It might not be a cooler. I haven't been on a boat in a minute, so I don't know all the parts and trinkets to a boat. But it is looking like a cooler. It could be a storage, a box, like a white box on a boat. That needs to be thoroughly checked. It could be checked, okay? Carless, somebody could have no car. Tell me more. Tell me more, Nolan. What do you want to communicate in terms of your passing, in terms of guidance, answers, giving money? Somebody is paying somebody. Allegedly. Somebody is paying someone. Again, nothing I'm saying is factual. None of this stuff is true. Okay, this is for entertainment purposes only. So Nolan Wells is saying somebody has been giving money, and this is big money. Okay, these are not like $10 bills. These are $100 bills. Somebody's paying a lot of money. I'm hearing house money. Okay, equivalent. Tell me more, Nolan. Nolan was a unicorn, okay? He's saying he was a unicorn. So he was very unique and someone that does catch a lot of attention, not in the sense of like, oh, look at me. It's more tied to his unique cellular makeup, how his energy was. His energy was unique. So it caused a lot of different emotions in people. It evoked a lot of different emotions. He had a lot of admirers, but he did have a lot of people that were low-key hate and low-key jealous. I don't even know if that these people were aware that they were jealous. It was feelings. Wow, we're seeing more about an offer. Money. This says dirty offer. So this could be blood money. I don't know. I don't know how, and it doesn't have to be blood money. It's what it is. You see what this says. It says dirty offer. I don't know enough about that world to know all the examples of what that might be. But I'm getting an energy that he's saying they're going to get caught in their own trap. It's like he's showing me a mouse running around a mouse trap, thinking it can get away. It sees the trap. It's like, oh, I'm clever. I'm going to go find my cheese. But somehow, it's like somebody like chasing their own tail. Somehow they get trapped. They get bamboozled. Somebody could be on to this dirty offer. Somebody in the right of right, okay, on the right side of things. Like I would say pure, like coming from a pure intentionality place, could somehow bamboozle this person for them to get caught up in their dirty offer. Tell me more about this offer, because you keep bringing up offer, dirty offer. What is this? What else do you want to say about this? Jackpot, winning money, got rich, inheritance, unexpected money. There's a lot coming up about offers and money. Take how it resonates to you, because a lot of times with readings, what's coming to your impression first is going to be what that is. Now, I first was getting this tied to the offers that I was reading earlier, but then when I saw this with the jackpot, I clearly did get, you know how there's a lot of money being put up right now for as a reward? I did get an energy of somebody coming forward because they feel confident that they will be winning money, getting rich, inheritance, unexpected money. They could be in a tight spot financially, and there could be a breaking point for them, whoever this soul is, where they feel like, you know what, I could use that extra money. I could do something with my life with that extra money. This is somebody that wants to set up their future with the reward money. And they're being tormented in a good way, I'm hearing, to do the right thing. It's like he's showing me like good angel, bad angel, you know, like when we're kids and they teach us that. So this person, it's like the good angel is convincing this person's conscience to come forward. Okay, tell me more about either aspect, dirty offer, paying money, or jackpot. What else do you want the collective watching to know about this? Same shit, different day. Yeah, it's getting to a point with the fiascos going on where I've been saying this every time I open my phone and I'm catching up on what's going on, where's the updates, what's happening in the case, what's the progress. To me personally, it's looking like a new chess move every day from either side. I don't even want to view it as sides, but he's like, no, yeah, it has been divided at this point. It's like made up sides. Like he's saying there will be progress soon. Tell me more, Nolan. Anything else you want them to know from this deck? Things are cooling off soon as well, he's saying. Things will cool off soon. Somebody a part of the case, somebody a part of the situation could be watching readings. That is not funny. Divination abuser. That's what I'm getting. Somebody involved is watching or going to psychics. Like they're freaking out low key. Like what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What does the future hold? Because they're concerned. There are people involved that are concerned about their future. Clearly. The bottom of the deck says wolf in sheep's clothing. Okay, so this is somebody that clearly people would never suspect. But because it is showing up as a wolf, this energy is in this person. There is a vicious energy in this person. I don't want to call it like that, but I gotta call it what it is. Okay. Running, again, this is somebody that's running away. They're ignoring, they're unfazed, they're unbothered. They're running away from their problems. Nope, I'm not gonna face it. Put the music on. La 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 da dee la da da. Okay. Boss daddy. There's somebody that is a boss daddy. This is someone of power and influence. It says stable, rich, business owner, CEO, big D energy. This is somebody that knows they're in a position of power and they're using it, tied to this case. Haunted. This is a card that came up in the beginning as well, before I started this reading. Haunted. Somebody is being haunted. I'm not saying he's haunting them. He's telling me he's not doing that intentionally. But he did say he is all places. Okay? He's around everybody. He's seeing everything going on. He is present in those rooms and spaces. It says haunted, memories, flashbacks, trauma, side effects. Somebody could be having really bad PTSD. Okay? They could be having really bad flashbacks. tied to what happened, which makes sense. It could even be the same energy that I was picking up of this person that's unfazed and running, because you can only run for so long, even if the person does try to compartmentalize. Or this is somebody else tied to it and they're haunted. Tell me more about this haunted energy. Clarify. He's telling me to go to a different deck. Fake accounts. Before I go to a different deck, fake accounts. Okay, there could be somebody with fake accounts. It could be one of these people that block their account or remove themselves from social media. It says fake social media, accounts to spy, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah, accounts to spy. Someone's creating an account to spy. Okay. There could be threats involved. Threatening. Okay, somebody could be threatening somebody. If you see the GUN right here. It says intimidating. I don't think it's all that, but you don't know. We don't know. Intimidating, threatened, bothered. So this is going on. He said I can pull one from here. Okay, clarify any of this energy. Boss daddy or haunted? Clarify haunted. Rejected. Tell me more. Why is haunted here? Looking you up, researching, studying, getting info. There could be a lot of research happening. This could also be somebody, I'm also getting whoever's haunted. This is somebody that's getting rejected by the public opinion. The public is not buying this person's side of the story. Okay, that's who's haunted. Researching, they're obsessively researching the details, obsessively. Again, on the bottom of the deck is this dirty offer. Okay, so this person could be tied to this dirty offer here. Nolan, tell me what else do you want to share about your case, the situation. He's going to be looking out for his family, okay? Victory. He's going to be looking out for his family. His family's going to have really big wins in this lifetime, and he's going to see that through. He is going to, this is the only victory card out of 100. He is going to see that through. He's not going to let his own passing go in vain, and he knows it's for a bigger reason. He's grateful he was able to do that, but he's saying we have to do the work. It's up to people to do the work and to make the change. Yes, he started it. He lit the torch. But it's like he's showing me, like, now that he's transitioned, that was the torch lighting. But then that torch gets passed, is what he's saying. The Fool. You're being guided to take a risk, a leap of faith when it comes to this matter. Maybe you're getting ideas or an idea of what to do around this to, again, bring justice, bring awareness, bring about change. You could be working together with people. Okay, let's get to the facts of what happened. Anything you want to share, Nolan? Intuition. Your intuition. Trust your intuition about this situation. Don't let anybody or any media outlet gaslight you, or officials gaslight you. We're living in a new era. If this was maybe 15 years ago, 10 years ago, even 5 years ago, yeah, I think a lot of people were very much asleep and would be like, okay, you know, they said, let's be patient, let's all be patient. But trust your intuition. Your intuition's telling you what's what. Somebody could be getting locked up, imprisonment. That could be something that will happen. And he's declaring that. You could be already in tune with who this might be, with the High Priestess and the third eye popping. Okay. This person, I feel like they're low-key worried, whoever this is. Like, they know deep down, even if they're not facing it, even if they're running away from it, running away from reality, they know, but they're very focused on achievements that they want to make in life. That's really their focus. So they're kind of living in denial so that they can focus on their achievements. That's why these, you know, dirty offers are coming up. Tell me more, Nolan, about your case and this energy. Why is Boss Daddy here? What is this Boss Daddy about? trusted. So this boss daddy is actually somebody that is trusted, and this is somebody that's praying a lot. But talk about the money. Oh my gosh. This is somebody rolling in money. This is somebody who's made really big investments that now at this present time, their return of investment is being put up for this. But this is somebody that's trying to do the right thing is what I'm getting. And they're praying, they're putting up all this money because they want the best to happen, the best result, this boss daddy. Like I said, this is someone trusted. So with this boss daddy, I'm getting a parental figure, obviously. Okay. That means well. Tell me more about this boss daddy with actual money, faith, praying. What is this? Manipulating a sweetheart. This is someone's family member. Manipulation, sweetheart. This could be somebody in their family. So this manipulation person doesn't have to be the boss daddy. It could be. You bring in lots of money and offers. That can be very manipulative. Or it's somebody else in the family, potentially a female, that's manipulative. Okay, pulling strings. Tell me more about this energy, Nolan. Tell me more about this money. Why does money keep showing up like this? It's shocking how much money is being put up. It is shocking. People would be shocked. It's like moving large assets around is what he's showing me. Sales, property sales could be liquidation. Tell me more. Anything else? Rising star. Somebody, this is kind of sick. Somebody thinks they're going to be a rising star out of this situation. Someone thinks that they will be a rising star, and it might not even be someone. It could be several someones. Whoever's coming to your mind first, that could be who it is. Doesn't have to be first, because it could be a list of people. From content creator to family member to somebody involved to the person who did it. Tell me more about this rising star. He's saying that was supposed to be him. There is some level of destiny swapping in this. There is some level of destiny swapping tied to this. Knowingly or unknowingly, whoever committed the crime, allegedly, knowingly or unknowingly, did a destiny swap. Tell me more about this rising star energy. Karmic. This is a karmic masculine. So this is actually, so when I read karmic masculine, I do read that as a past life enemy. And there has been a lot of talks about, is this Emmett Till, was Nolan Wells Emmett Till in present time, like reincarnated? And I'll say this, I believe in reincarnation. By the way, this karmic masculine is mentally and emotionally unstable. This is a very, very toxic person. Like I said, this is a past life enemy. And with karmics, it can feel like a lot of chemistry at first, and I'll go back to the reincarnation in a second. It can feel like a lot of chemistry, like very familiar, because in a past life, they had a relationship of some sort. Now, if it's a karmic where in the past life, they did not have a close relationship and the cycle is just repeating, they wouldn't have had like firework connection. There would be even initially some distance, if that makes sense. So, when a karmic is born and put on our path, they're the people that can really trigger us, even to the point of death. It's because there's a lesson that's needed to be worked out in this lifetime. The karma has to be worked out. And it's like the universe gives that person another chance. Like, okay, are you going to do better in this lifetime? Will you learn from your lesson? And oftentimes I find that the karmics don't. You know, it's a lot of repeating. And so back to reincarnation, I definitely believe in reincarnation because when I was 7, I believed in reincarnation and nobody told me about it. I read a really interesting book years ago called Seth Speaks. If you have a chance, definitely recommend reading it. You can listen to it on YouTube, audiobook for free. But there's something beautiful about reading through the actual book. But this woman channels this guy named Seth, and he breaks down basically human consciousness and how like spirituality works in general, etc. And one thing I do recall him stating is that usually when a soul dies, they linger in the afterlife, okay, before reincarnating for about 50 of our human years before reincarnating again. That would put, from the time Emmett Till passed, it's around that mark to when Nolan was born. So he's telling me not to focus on it because I'm like asking him, Nolan, are you Emmett Till in in this lifetime? And so he's saying yes and no. So back to the multiple dimensions, he's explaining it, and I've heard mediums explain it like this too, because somebody was like, well, what happens if you have a dog that transitions or even a person and they get reincarnated? What if, is that spirit still going to be there where I can talk to them? And their answer was like, there's multiple dimensions. So that's how Nolan Wells is explaining it to me. He was a variation. There was an aspect of Emmett Till from Emmett Till's soul biological makeup that he embodied in this lifetime. But yeah, back to this karmic. Whoever did the act is a karmic to Nolan, and they're mentally and emotionally unwell. Anything else about this energy, Nolan, from this deck? Distant future. Something's coming up in the distant future. Tell me more. What's happening in the distant future? There could be, I don't know if it would make sense, because I think they said something, because he's showing me something about dogs. There could be an allowance to let the cadaver dogs on, check out a boat or something. But I just don't know if it's going to be in that time frame. But distant future is here. Why is distant future here? Clarify, Nolan? Bliss. There's going to be good news. Jezebel. It's a lot of this back and forth energy, okay? It's like you win some, you lose some. That's very much what this is. But he's saying keep up the good big fight, because at the end of the day, this is the work. So keep fighting strong. I'm seeing this boss again, boss daddy and boss. There's definitely somebody of very, very high power, not just like, oh, they're dealing with powerful families. It's a family. It's a community of powerful people. No, there is somebody that's like on top that is involved. This could be a Jezebel. It could be a Jezebel spirit. They could be shocked about a message they're receiving. Nolan is saying he doesn't like that there's a lot of attention being pulled away from him to other people's victimhood stories. He sees through that. So he doesn't like that tactic, is what he's saying. There's change coming in. I'm gonna go to a different deck. I don't have set out questions about like anybody specific. I know there's been a lot of readings like that online. Yeah. What do you want to say about your case, Nolan, about your death, your passing, anything you want people to know? He's bringing up the love story, the love connection he had. It was a beautiful connection with the young lady he was spending time with. His last moments, he's saying he wouldn't have rather it be any other way. So there was some genuine love there. He would not have wanted his last moments to be any other way. I'm almost gonna cry. Yeah. He's saying if he could write a script for how his last moments would be, spending time with her is something he would not have changed. There's a new perspective that's going to come out about this connection, who he was hugging up on. Truth is going to come out. Anything else from this deck you want to share, Nolan? He's like, no, get to the juicy stuff. Okay. He's bringing her up that at the party, he noticed how she was looking real pretty. She was sitting pretty, okay? Yeah, he really, really likes her. She could look like this depiction to some degree. He really, really, really likes her. And that is a bond that's never going to go away, is what he's saying. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful. That bond is never gonna go away. And that bond between him and her could come back in another lifetime for a longer time, next time. Go here or here? Here. What message do you want me to pull from here? This is more of a dramatic deck. Let's see. What do you want to share, Nolan? Tied to your death, your passing, this whole thing. Yep, chaos. this could be tied to the death and the aftermath and the energy going on right now, the shenanigans happening right now. There's a lot of chaos. Do you see this tornado? He wants the best for his mom. And so it is really important, like a lot of, there's power in prayer. So he's saying the more that people pray around the world, the better. Not just for her, but for our country, he's saying, for the world to evolve past the systemic racism. Secrets and lies, secrets and lies. There's been a lot of secrets and lies. And that's the thing, you have lies, but then you have secrets. So you have people keeping these lies intact. There's a lot going on, and there could even be, see how it's like a passionate image here? There could also be some secret passionate, this could have been a crime of passion, but there could be secrets tied to that and lies. Tell me more. What do you want people to know? Red flags, pay attention. He's saying pay attention to the red flags. You're not seeing red flags for no reason. Do not let anybody gaslight you. That's a big message coming through this entire reading. Trust your intuition. So there's been red flags. He's saying those red flags need to be paid attention to. And there are toxic people involved, people doing substances. People riddled by substances, people having addictions to substances. Toxic. You intake enough toxicity, you become very toxic yourself. It's just the way it works. But with all of this red, there could even be like anger, passion, anger, secrets and lies, red flags. Do not ignore the red flags at this time. Trust your hunch. Don't let like what you're seeing derail your truth nor your beliefs, because the red flags are talking. They're saying a lot is what he's saying. The red flags are saying a lot. Don't just go by he say, she say, because there are lots of secrets and lies. So you kind of have to look beyond what people are saying and pay attention to the red flags you're seeing. So we have toxic people here. Let's see what's underneath this. Candle magic. Somebody could be going to doing some occult stuff to this. You can't put anything past anybody. You really can't. Desperate measures. There could be people doing desperate things. Tell me more, Nolan, tied to your case. Chaos again. One more from this deck, and then I'll change decks. One more, Nolan. What do you want people to know? One more from here. You were the whole package. I feel like that's him. This is the card I just saw, by the way. And I put it back because I'm like, oh, that's romantic. Let me not pull it. But I guess he wanted me to pull it. Nolan was the whole package. Like a beautiful gift. But it had to take someone of this stature of energy and light and divinity to shake the world. Somebody involved in the situation is very controlling. It could be a female to a male. She is very controlling and domineering. The male is giving more passive. Again, this could be that dynamic, the boss daddy with the family, and then a female that's being very manipulative. Somebody is very unhappy. What is this unhappiness? Shattered dreams. Somebody's unhappy because they feel like their dreams, their accomplishments that they want are going to be destroyed. They know. They're running and they're avoiding and they're ignoring it, but deep down they know. I just heard they know their time is up. Nolan Wells is also saying his mother knows. But because we don't have facts, we don't have proof, she can't say, oh, I know, because it doesn't work like that. Rejected offer. Back to all those offers that were showing up in the beginning. Somebody could be rejecting, because this is the second time we're seeing rejected. Out of all the offers being made, because offers showed up quite a lot in the beginning of this read. Somebody is rejecting an offer. Let me see, are they doing this? Why are they rejecting this offer? Is this somebody wanting to do something right? Let me see, I need to go here. Why is this offer being rejected? Why is somebody rejecting this offer, Nolan? A female, Empress. Hermit, they're taking time to look within. A female is rejecting an offer. So a female could actually be coming forward to say what she knows, because there's some kind of dirty offer she don't want no part of. Okay? She's thinking right now, the Hangman, this is having a new perspective, again, he did mention there was some kind of pact that was made. And it was a serious pact. It's not just like, oh, let's pinky promise, okay? There is a female that could be rejecting confirmation. There was just a car horn. Yeah, people working together. There is a female that could be rejecting an offer. One more about this energy, Nolan. He's like, no, you got it. Yeah, one more. It went from 3. You saw how I just showed you 3 of Pentacles? It went from 3 to 2. Now it's 2 Pentacles instead of the 3. So yeah, this female could be denying an offer. And like I said, she could be coming forward. Somebody is going to be breaking and coming forward about the reward. And because they truly, it's not even so much about the reward, it's that they feel like it's the right thing. They don't want their hands to be dirty. They want to move forward with their life. This is very serious for these people involved, because they are feeling the pressure. And unlike the systems in place and the people of power that be, these people do have a big level of naivete, if that makes sense. Conflict. Yeah, like I said earlier, I did see girl fight. So for sure, this started and it was tied to a fight that could have went left. Conflict. Like, I did see that this karmic masculine is mentally and emotionally unstable. Conflict again. This is somebody that gets fumes, they get very heated. This is somebody that doesn't play. When they get mad, they're like, whoo, like a bull. They're getting karma. Karma will be served. Karma will be served. There could be gossip. So even amongst the group that made the pact, there could be a lot of gossip going on. It could be to their families, he's saying, to their friends, amongst each other. Lots of gossip. Tell me one more about this energy with conflict and karma. With the sun being here, something's going to be exposed, okay? Something will come to light. That could be a part of this person's karma. I'm hearing humiliation ritual. That is a part of their karma. He's kind of saying, like, at the end of the day, this person's life will not be over, but they will have to pay the consequences and go and face their karma. The way the systems are in place, he's explaining, like, it won't be that bad. As we know, right? Because like I said in the beginning, if the roles were flipped and it was 3 black guys, we all know they would have been in that jailhouse within minutes. Tell me more, Nolan. Conflict and karma. And Nolan is somebody who doesn't like the fight of race. He doesn't believe in it. He really doesn't. He doesn't, kind of like Einstein. He thinks, like, what? It's stupid. He's saying I could give my example. Okay. So when I was little, the reason why the parts about it that I think is stupid, I don't think it's stupid that collectively we demand change, because systemically it's effed up. And like the racism we're breathing in the world, and not only in this country, in the world is effed up. It doesn't make sense. But I just heard this little girl yesterday in a video. I'll tell you about that in a second. But when I was little and I learned the colors of the crayons, well, I'll tell you her story first. So this mom who was maybe a little darker than me had like a white passing daughter. And she was asking the daughter, who was maybe 5 years old, 6 years old, like, what do you tell people when they tell you you're white? She's like, I tell them I'm peach. And she's like, what if they tell you, no, you're not, you're white? She's like, no, mommy is brown, daddy is peach, and I'm a color of peach. And then she's like, and then when I go in the sun, I turn like a beige. And yeah, so she was teaching her how to own her blackness. And so anyway, when I learned the colors of crayons, I had to be like 7 years old in the first grade. And I was like, oh, I literally went home to my cousin who's like, I don't know, 3 to 5 shades lighter than me. And I was like, he's 7 years older than me. So I was like, yeah, I learned the colors of the crayons. I'm like, mommy's white, grandma's brown, you're yellow, I'm beige. And he was like, no, Vanessa, we're all black. And I literally remember, I remember I put my hands on my head and I was like, no, like you cannot tell me that. I just learned the colors of the crayons. Like, what? What do you mean? All that to say, you know, I understand where Nolan is coming from because he just viewed it like that. He had his black friends, his white friends. It wasn't is disparaging the right word I'm looking for? You know, it wasn't such a difference for him. It wasn't. He didn't see it like that. Like, oh, I'm gonna be, you know, I'm doing black things with black people. No, he didn't see it like that. He was himself. You know, he saw it more like of like how I just described it. Like, oh, we're different skin tones. Okay, whatever. Like, you know, whatever. Tell me more. One more, Nolan, about this conflict and karma. Yeah, this person could all of a sudden have a health concern. Okay, whoever started all this, whoever is the person at fault, could end up with a health concern. It could be mental health. It doesn't always have to be physical health. Okay, especially as I'm seeing emotional pain. This is a big rebirth thing for this person. This is a turning point for this person in this lifetime. And they do have a choice. Like, they have different paths they can take. Nolan is showing me, like, the person who is at fault could go different paths right now. They could go down this lane, and that would be like talking. Okay, turning themselves in. This is what happened. They could go this lane, and they're following protocol and all their expertise, advice, and people that are manipulating the situation, whatever. What's the other way they could go? They could be stubborn. And if they're stubborn and wanting to keep being in denial, is what Nolan is saying, then that might not have the best repercussions. Okay. So there's lessons in this for all involved. There's lessons in this for everybody. Everybody that is affected, impacted, feeling something. There's lessons in it for all of us. Yeah, this is somebody mentally and emotionally unstable. They could be getting blocked from something. They could be having, this is someone who could have had an opportunity, and that opportunity is being blocked. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm talking in code with y'all. Like, I don't want to say certain names, even though I know I said none of this is factual. This is just entertainment. Maybe I never light a candle for readings, but for Nolan, I had to. Shout out to Nolan. Boss, change. So whoever is in this boss energy, they could have some change coming in for them as well. I'm also getting, like I was just saying earlier, something could be blocked from the person who committed the crime or persons. And that's going to bring about some change for them. Now, like Nolan is explaining to me, they have different paths they could take. And that would determine the kind of change that would come about. But their life is definitely about to change. And they could definitely very well be blocked from something that they thought they were going to get. This could have had something to do with this girl he was spending time with. that had soulmate energy with him. There was some kind of attraction at the level of the soul. Ancestors are very present. He has a lot of support. Nolan Wells has so much support, and he's dancing on the other side. He's celebrating. He's definitely going to be celebrating on his birthday. He doesn't want people to be so down, because he understands that as people are diving deep into this, there's frustration happening, there's anger happening, and it's not a race thing. It's happening on white, black, Hispanic people. People are feeling impacted. And he doesn't want people to be so down about it, you know? That energy that we see him in, always dancing, always laughing, juking, jiving, you know? He has a really bright energy. He wants people to take that lesson from him. Wow, yeah. He wants people to try to get in that energy themselves. Be a little bit like him. Remember him like that. You ain't have to know him to see his light. You didn't have to know him to see what kind of person he was, what kind of energy he delivered. It emanates through his being. The girl that he was with could have been a rich girl, okay, or came from money of some degree, or she will be. Single, sexy, successful. Yeah, she could be doing well for herself in the future, and she's gonna be scotch-free, okay? Somebody could be shocked about this. A Jezebel could be shocked about this. This Jezebel is somebody that could have been lusting after her. You still need to go to some other deck. Okay, got you. He wants people to dance in honor of him, okay? Laugh in honor of him. Make sure you're being kind to people in honor of him. He was a sweetheart. He really was. And he's grateful. I'm getting emotional. He's grateful that the world, that people could see this side of him, because he was human. Everybody's human. You know, we all have our sides to us, and he's grateful that it resonated so much to people. You know, how sweet he is, how sweet he was. Energy. Wow, I just shuffled this deck and broke it. Do you see this? Do y'all see this? Energy on a trillion, on a gazillion. It had to take his soul to take the torch, to light the torch. Because it needed, the person to do this had to have massive energy, or else it would have been, oh, there goes another story of somebody being accidentally suicidal, okay, or yeah, and then it's just pushed under the rug. It had to take his big energy. Now he's making me hear that song, good energy, I don't need no negativity around me. Hey, so I feel like he's sending light up for his family, and for them to stay being in good energy, because the devil is a liar. The devil is a liar. Tell me more, Nolan. That was crazy happiness. I cannot right now. I cannot right now. Nolan, oh my gosh. All this talk about his light and joy and happiness. Yeah. He's spiritual, okay? He is spiritual. He tapped in. He's tapped all the way in. He has to be. Nolan's soul is at a whole other level, y'all. For this to be his purpose, his soul is at a whole other level. One more from here. He wants people to be happy. So yeah, as you're watching the news and getting in your content creator bag, saying what you need to say, using your voice about this case, spreading awareness, he wants you to be in a happy energy, okay? Do a little dance if you can. Do a little dance for him if you can before you go live or whatever. Frustration, yeah. He did say some people, he knows the frustration. He knows people are angry, people are frustrated, people want answers. People want answers now. People wanted answers yesterday. People wanted answers last month, or almost a month ago. Energy, again, is jumping out. He's giving everybody the energy to sustain themselves through this. This could be a long uphill battle, a long road, but he's saying it's not going to be too long. It's not going to be too long, okay? One more, Nolan. I like that you put energy out again. He's saying too that his energy, this is deep, his energy, how he has all this big energy that he came into this world with, the opponent, okay, the person who committed the crime, I don't even want to say opponent because there could have been some accident involved. He's saying the issue is them not coming forward. It's how they went about it. But anyway, he's explaining to me that just as big as his energy is, the energy of frustration and anger that that person had to be equivalent or greater, if not greater, to overcome and succumb this energy that Nolan Wells had. Does that make sense? I feel like y'all caught that. That's what he's saying. Sadness. Yeah, that person could be very sad, and it was a crime of passion. But to the extent of, so I hope that makes sense. That passion was to the extent of overpowering frustration, anger, conflict, as we saw come up over and over and over, which is passion. It just had, it's big energy. So it's not just somebody that gets a little bit angry and they were super impulsive last minute. This is somebody that harbors a big energy of that kind of energy. It's in them. Like we saw wolf in sheep's clothing. So I'm gonna go here. What message do you want to say from here, Nolan? What message do you want to say from here? Pregnancy, new love, new start, children. Somebody could be preggo. But for this, I'm also getting a new start for his mama bear. Tell me more. A new start even in the case. Tell me more, Nolan. What do you want the collective to know? Hopes and desires, expectations, still hopeful. Okay, somebody's still hopeful. Is this somebody? Clarify. Yeah, I feel like this is somebody that was involved. This is a habitual liar. Okay, cannot be trusted, won't change. This is somebody that was tied to the lies and secrets. That cannot be trusted. They're still hopeful. Make it make sense, but I guess it makes sense. This person is still hopeful. This is giving me an energy of somebody that was involved. Okay, that's been telling lies. They're still hopeful for their future. I don't know if it's because they feel like they can get away. Innocence. Okay, they feel like they're innocent. That's why they're hopeful. They feel like, okay, at the beginning of the day, middle of the day, end of the day, they feel like they didn't do the act. So they feel like even if they get in some kind of repercussion or consequence that happens, it's not going to be so big. That's if. Because this is somebody that's like way ahead of themselves, thinking like, oh, that's never going to happen to me. Look at how powerful and how much money, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anything else from this deck? He's saying something else. What else are you saying about that? No, he's saying that this person does feel like something will come. This person does feel like there will be some kind of consequence. This person lying. The Pinocchio nose I just showed y'all. But they're still hopeful. They don't feel like they're going to fully get away with it for some reason. Wow, secrets. They feel, tell me more. Hidden intentions, feelings, secrets. So I don't understand. Nolan said they don't. So maybe they're feeling torn two ways. This is a team. This is a team of people. He's showing me the word team. Someone in this team that's been telling lies feels like they're going to be unscathed. That's why they're hopeful. I won't say unscathed. They feel like there will be some kind of consequence, but they're really trying hard to keep it secret. And they're putting pressure on people to make sure they keep it secret. They feel like they're going to keep it secret because they're busy lying left and right. Okay? They're concerned about the other people. Can they keep it a secret? Again, this female, there could be a female that he's feeling, I don't know if they're going to be able to keep a secret, but he's still nevertheless hopeful for his future. Taking a closer look, nitpicking, over-analyzing. He could be over-analyzing what people are saying, what clues are coming together, who's figuring it out, people are figuring it out, nitpicking the whole story apart, nitpicking the person that he's really hoping can keep it a secret. One more from here, Nolan. The energy feels very heavy, okay? Frozen, stagnation, shut down. Somebody is in this energy. Again, this is another trauma response. Flight, fight, or freeze. Somebody's in the freeze energy. Change is coming though. I just saw 5-5 on the time. Change is coming. Guarded, cautious, leery, careful. Somebody's being very careful. They're very guarded. Again, that could be the female, doesn't have to be. That's involved. Did I go here already? I think I did. Did I use this deck? Yeah, maybe not. Anything you want to share from this deck, Nolan, about your passing, about what people need to hear about the case? He's saying stay strong, and he really appreciates everybody that's wishing well for him and being genuine and not just brushing it off as an accident. He's really appreciating everybody that's not just, because he's saying people know. So he appreciates those who are not living in denial, saying like, oh, that's just an accident, innocent. Achievement, judgment is being called, okay? There was some action taken. It could have been tied to some action, some part of this crime could have taken place on land. See the water, the boat? Some part of this could have taken place on land. Why is, I'm gonna clarify achievement and innocent. Somebody feels very innocent in the situation. Like they know they are, so they're still hopeful for their achievements in life. Why is achievement here? I'm getting different messages, exactly. The other message I'm getting is what I said earlier. Somebody feels like, okay, their life is over, that they will not get achievements, that their achievements will be blocked. I am seeing that because I'm seeing bondage. When I clarified achievement, bondage, and at the bottom of the deck is this imprisonment. Somebody knows they're gonna get locked up. They feel it, and they feel like their achievement is locked up. Why is innocent here? Clarify innocent, Spirit. Nolan, clarify innocent. Clarify innocent. The Lovers. Okay, so the female he was with. The female he was hugged up with, this Queen of Cups, innocent. The Lovers, Queen of Cups, innocent. She could have taken a hit, okay, with this Nine of Wands. She could have been gaslit, whatever you want to call it, with that Nine of Wands. But yeah, she's for sure innocent. When I asked why is innocent here, the bondage is whoever has a big achievement on the line, they know they are going to be stuck like Chuck. They know they're going to be in bondage. Whew, Lord. So this is pretty clear. He's being very clear in his reading. He's mentioning a photo. What are you saying about a photo? There's going to be a photo that comes out that's going to be a big clue. Photos. It could be tied to Snap. It could be tied to his something on his phone. Photos. It could be tied to Snap. Yeah, investigating, spying, watching, discovering what's going on. It could come about in discovery. Something on his phone. A photo is going to be very telling. They tried to block this. Okay. They tried to be creative and block this. But it is going to come out, he's saying. The math is mathing, is what he's saying. At first it was like, oh, the math is not mathing. But now with the internet sleuths and the content creators that are doing the good work, dots are connecting. And he's saying the math is mathing. 1 + 1 = 2. He's saying it's going to be clear as day. So I think that's why this person who committed the act feels like their achievement is going to be blocked. Anything else you want to say, Nolan? He's like, no, we covered it. Okay. All right. He's going back to the auntie. I cannot, okay? He's saying there's like a sweet woman, a sweet older woman involved that's very sweet. It could be tied to the girl's family. It could be. Somebody's very sweet, very helpful, checking in on his mom. He's appreciative of all the people having her back, his parents' back. He said, don't forget about his dad. Okay, don't forget about his dad. He needs the prayers too. Yeah, he's saying make sure y'all take care of yourselves because this is a battle. This is a battlefield. So make sure you're taking care of yourselves, getting rest, eating nutritious foods, not being hard on yourself. And he's saying live a little, dance a lot, he's saying. You know, enjoy your memories, enjoy your time with your loved ones is what he's saying too. He's very like aspirational, he's very motivational, you know, he's kind of saying like, go after your dreams, like go be the best version of you can be. Nolan is lit. Nolan is a lit, beautiful soul. And I think the world knows that. The world can feel his energy. Wow, on the bottom of this deck, I'm looking, it says determination. He wants people to be determined, especially tied to his case. Be determined and you will win, he's saying. Be determined. Faith. Now he's showing me the faith card. Have faith. What card is this? Peace. Yeah, he wants his spirit to rest in peace too. Okay. I know that's right. I know that's right, Nolan. Yeah, and he wants people to be at peace. He wants the world to be at peace. That is what his purpose was for. He is getting support from all the greats. I don't know all their names, forgive me, but like Michael Jordan. Why did I say Michael Jordan? I meant Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, Malcolm X, MLK, a lot of freedom fighters. A lot of people that were here to bring about world change, world peace. All right, y'all, so I think we're gonna close it out. We're gonna wrap up this beautiful reading. Anything else you want me to go to? He said no, he's highlighting this dirty offer though. There's some really dirty offer. This could get exposed or not, but this is definitely happening. Legal issues. There's a lot of that going on, okay? This is legal issues, court, judges, immigration lawyers. Ego, somebody's ego is hurt, okay? Somebody's ego is hurt. Somebody could be carless. Somebody could get around, like, I don't know, Uber or whatever, or hitch rides from people, but they don't have a car. But somebody's ego is hurt. It says hurt ego, ego getting in the way of relationship. That could have been what started this whole fight, was ego. All right, y'all, stay blessed. Nolan Well's birthday is coming up soon, August 9th. Light your candles, say y'all prayers for him and his family. All right, thank y'all for being here. If you're new here, hit that like, subscribe button. Also check out my book. I did write a book called Believe in Your Soul. You can find it on Amazon by Vanessa. Just put my first name because my last name's super long. Believe in Your Soul. Also, I do make handmade ceramics. You can check out my info below, Sacred Céramique. And this is the one I feel like Nolan wanted me to show. There was 3 he wanted me to show, but I chose only 1. Maybe should I? He's like, yeah, show them all 3. This is the first one I picked. So they're all one of a kind, unique pieces. They're wabi-sabi style, so they're not meant to be perfect. I love the green accents in this one. It's very subtle, but you see it. You can have morning tea, have a slow morning, set your intentions, mindfulness mornings, okay? Let me get the other ones, hold on. Here's one, he likes this one, okay? Nolan said to grab this. So a lot of my pieces, you can use them to honor your ancestors, okay? I do also offer sessions, so if you wanna book me for a session, you can. I love this one because it's like a vase. A lot of people like this one because of the bright turquoise, but you can put offerings in here, hand-picked flowers. I truly feel like when we honor our ancestors, they uplift us. And this one's my favorite of the 3 he picked. It has a beautiful Andinkra symbol here for beauty, representing beauty. It's an African symbol. Love the unique shape. It has some iridescent on it as well. And again, they are all one of a kind. So yeah, check the website out. I do ship pretty quickly. And yeah, thank you for being here. This was very beautiful, a beautiful moment with you all and Nolan. All right, peace and love, y'all. Bye.